Welcome to Students Incorporated, a podcast exploring the topics of business, education, technology, and design. I'm your host, Mr. Jason. Join me weekly as my team and I produce content that's informative, positive, fun, and uplifting. Episodes include student conversations, interviews with thought leaders, and inspirational stories with an international flavor. This podcast is created and produced with the help of students from the International Community School of Bangkok. We are back for a new season with the new podcast crew. I'm joined by my new co-hosts, Rebecca and Premi, and the rest of the team. Welcome to Season 2 of Students Incorporated. In today's episode, you'll meet our Season 2 team and get to learn a little something about each of them. But before we get into our little meet and greet, I'll turn it over to Rebecca for the quote of the day and Premi for some headline news.
Our quote of the day comes from Russell Eric Dobda. He is quoted to have said, "Taking a break can lead to breakthroughs. Breaks and pauses can be helpful in many different ways. Breakthroughs can happen in school, work, and even in your personal lives. So don't be afraid sometimes. Just take a break from it. When you do, don't be surprised if you discover a breakthrough."
That's truly inspiring. Thank you for the quote, Rebecca. Now, onto some technology news. The city of New York has announced that they're blocking access to TikTok on the devices of government workers. This stems from data privacy concerns over whether TikTok will be able to inject malicious content into the devices of government officials or steal important data. New York currently follows 34 other states in having banned TikTok on government devices. Now onto some business news right here in Thailand. Thailand's tourism industry has suffered from a decline in tourism due to an economic recession following the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, Thailand is seeing a growth in tourists once again based on the number of hotel bookings. Hotels in Thailand are now hiring more staff in order to prepare for the arrival of more tourists, providing more jobs and helping the local economy. For our last news headlines, following months of political deadlock after voters turned in at the ballots of the 14th of May to cast their votes, the Thai parliament has finally elected a new prime minister. Mr. Seth Thavisin, former CEO of real estate giant Sansili, has been nominated as the sole candidate for the prime minister position of the Pheu Thai party and garnered 482 votes, far exceeding the required 375 votes needed for him to be elected into power.
Thank you for the quote and the headline news. We're excited to be back with another season of Students Incorporated. Brand new episodes, brand new team, and brand new programming. We're going to kick off the new season by introducing our new team members. Let's start with our two co-hosts, Rebecca and Premi.
Hi people, I'm Rebecca, a junior here at ICS, and I'm joining Students Incorporated as a co-host, as well as an assistant writer and editor for our podcast. Some of my weekly responsibilities include hosting the podcast as one of the main speakers and helping Premi to write and edit the script for each episode. Super excited to start this new journey.
Hey everyone, I'm Premi, a junior here at ICS. I'm joining Students Incorporated as a co-host as well as a writer and editor for our podcast. I help with the podcast by hosting the podcast as one of the speakers, in addition to writing and editing the script for each episode. Super excited to join the team.
Hello, my name is Patience. I'm a senior and I'm joining Students Incorporated as the producer and booking agent. Some of my weekly responsibilities include being in charge of the production of the podcast. I oversee the production process and make sure the show is produced exceedingly and published with the utmost quality. As the booking agent, I am in charge of scheduling and communicating who, when, how, and why our guests will be invited onto our podcast.
Hi everyone, my name is Chanya. I'm currently in 12th grade, a senior. I'm joining Students Incorporated as a designer as well as an administrator. Some of my weekly responsibilities include leading progress meetings and creating new designs based upon each topic for the Students Incorporated podcast. Wishing the best for this new season.
Hello, my name is Yan Hao. I'm a senior at ICS this year, and I'm joining Students Incorporated as a tech engineer and a journalist. Some of my weekly responsibilities involve editing recordings, helping set up equipment, and also finding news headlines for the podcast. I'm looking forward to Season 2 of Students Incorporated.
Thank you, Yan Hao. We're really excited to work and contribute to the podcast this season. I'm excited to see how far Students Incorporated will go this season. In our second segment, we will be having a game of 2 truths and 1 lie, so stay tuned. As of now, we are all back at school, fresh from the summer. And speaking of break, what's one fun thing you all did over break this past summer? I'll go first. During the break, I went to my family's new house in Beihai, China, and spent almost 4 hours every day in the ocean.
Over summer break, I went to Taiwan and spent 2 days hiking with a bunch of elderly people. It was an amazing experience seeing the view from above the clouds.
Something fun I did over the summer was attending a writing camp in Ohio. Politics aside, I think Ohio gets too much hate. Ohioans are actually really nice. Coming back to Thailand was also really fun as well, especially after being away for a year, catching up with the Thai friends and family.
Oh, that seems so fun. I've never been to Ohio before. One thing I did during the break that was fun was I went to America and got to see my baby niece. She's so cute. And I also got to go to Universal Studios with my best friends and to Disneyland with my whole entire family.
Wow, you went to 2 theme parks. I hope you had fun there. Something I did that was fun during the summer was being able to stay home and have fun watching videos until very late into the night, since I stayed in Thailand the whole time.
All right, something fun I did this summer. My family and I traveled back to the U.S. for 3 weeks, and we were able to reconnect with friends and family, which is always good. We got to celebrate the 4th of July holiday with a full fireworks show. This happens to be our family's favorite holiday, probably because it's summertime in the USA, and we get to hang out outside and eat a lot of good food and hang out with friends and family. Okay, thank you everyone for sharing. And with that, we'll be right back after a short PSA.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Today is August 31st, 2023. As we all know that our ICS students are so hardworking and diligent. Somehow, school has been putting so much pressure on our precious students. So students, do something nice for yourself today. Find some quiet. Sit in stillness. Breathe. Put your headphones and AirPods on. Open Students Incorporated on Spotify or Apple Podcast or Amazon Music or Google Podcast. Grab some Coca-Cola and chicken nuggets. You deserve a break. We're the podcast family. If you want to know more about us, please follow our Students Incorporated IG account because your voice matters. By the way, Spirit Week and Carnival are coming up. Stay tuned for more info on the ICS IG account or check the posters in the school.
We are back with part 2. For this part of the show, we'll be playing a game called 2 Truths and 1 Lie. Rebecca, could you share the rules of the game and then introduce our 2 candidates?
Patience and Chanya will be our candidates. The rules of the game are easy to follow. Each person will give us 3 statements, of which one is a lie. Then we will try our best to guess which is which.
Patience, are you ready to start us off with your 2 truths and 1 lie?
Yes. Okay, so here are my 2 truths and a lie. So number 1, I'm actually left-handed and right-handed, so I'm ambidextrial. Number 2, I love traveling alone. And number 3, I'm introverted. Can you guys guess the lie?
I think number 2 is a lie, because I feel like you're an extrovert person and you like to stay with people.
What do you think, Premi?
In general, you're like more outgoing and more confident, but many people interpret the meaning of being introvert as like not as being shy and not talking to people. But introvert really means that you recharge by being alone or being with close friends and family. So honestly, I'm not so sure. What do you think, Tanya?
I honestly think that number 2, I love traveling alone, is maybe not true because I do know that Patience likes to go with her friends to like travel around and stuff.
So based off what other people are saying, like I think Patience just really interacts with her friends a lot, so I don't think she's that much of an introvert, so that's what I'm going with.
Okay, so have we finalized everybody's choices? So my first 2 truths are I actually love traveling alone and I am introverted. My lie is that I'm left-handed and right-handed. I'm not ambidextrial, sadly.
Thank you, Patience. Chanya, it's your turn.
Okay, here are my 2 truths and 1 lie. Number 1, I've never been to Australia. Number 2, I've been on the Taekwondo team and won an award. And number 3, I've visited an Olympic stadium.
I feel like the lie is number 2 as well. You've been on the Taekwondo team because I feel like you're the kind of person who do like arts or like work more instead of sports. What do you think, Firmi?
You know what? I think you would be great at taekwondo. I think you've won an award. You've been on the team. That is true. I don't think you've been to Australia.
So I think that Chanya's a bit too peaceful to her taekwondo. No offense. So that's why I think that's why that's her lie.
I think, yeah, number 2. I've never like knowing Chanya like we're friends. I'm not sure. I don't even know that she's been on a taekwondo team, and I'm not really sure. So I think that one is a lie.
My 2 truths are that I've never been to Australia and that I've been on the taekwondo team. The lie is actually that I've been to Olympic Stadium. I've never been there before.
And I would have said I never would have guessed that, but I did. I was right, y'all. I was right. You're amazing at taekwondo. We all know it. Well, we hope you enjoyed the True Truths and One Lie game with Patience and Chanya, and maybe you learned something new about them. I know we all did.
And with that, I'd like to thank my new Season 2 team, and I look forward to working with all of you this year. As we end this episode, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us. You can find our show on multiple listening platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Amazon Music. Stay tuned weekly as we host more guests and bring you creative and interesting topics. As always, this podcast would not be possible without the hard work and support of our international student production team.
All music and sound effects are courtesy of Pixabay.com, a vibrant community of creatives sharing copyright-free images, videos, and music.
And we are signing off until next time. We are Students Incorporated, because your voice matters.